The Force had touched countless minds across millennia, flowing through empires and extinction events, binding atoms and civilizations in its eternal dance. But it had never felt this, a hunger so vast, so primal, so fundamentally consuming that reality itself bent around its approach. Something from beyond the known universe, from outside the very framework that gave the Force meaning, was coming. And it was starving, in the void between galaxies where even hyperspace routes feared to chart. A figure moved through the cosmic darkness. Galactus, the devourer of worlds, sole survivor of the universe that preceded this one, felt the pull of something unprecedented. His cosmic awareness, perception that spanned dimensions and realities, had detected an anomaly, a galaxy saturated with life energy in concentrations he'd never encountered. Not merely planets teeming with organisms, but thousands of worlds connected by threads of mystical energy the inhabitants called the Force. To Galactus, it was a feast unlike any in eons. The dimensional barrier between Marvel's universe and this one was thinner here, weakened by the sheer concentration of life force. The cosmic entity's hunger, eternal and implacable, gave him strength to tear through the veil. Reality screamed as he crossed, space-time folding around his massive form, and then he was there, at the edge of a galaxy far, far away, his cosmic senses immediately cataloging thousands of inhabited systems, each one rich with the energy he needed to survive. Galactus did not hate. Galactus did not love. Galactus was an elemental force as natural and inevitable as entropy, as necessary as gravity, and he was desperately, cosmically hungry. On Coruscant, in the highest chamber of the Jedi Temple, Master Yoda collapsed mid-sentence during council session. His ancient body convulsed, his connection to the Force suddenly flooded with something impossible. A presence so vast it made Sith Lords seem like candle flames before a supernova. Around the council chamber, every Jedi Master gasped simultaneously, their Force senses overwhelmed by the arrival of something that existed outside their mystical framework. "What?" Mace Windu began, then stopped, his hand going to his chest as if struck. "What is that?" Yoda's voice was barely a whisper, his 900 years of wisdom suddenly feeling inadequate. "Felt this I have not. Not dark side, not light, not the Force at all. Beyond it, above it, in the Senate building, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, secretly the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, stopped mid-political calculation, his carefully constructed facade cracking as his Sith senses detected the cosmic disturbance. For the first time in decades, genuine fear touched his features. Whatever had just entered the galaxy made his grand plans for galactic domination seem like children arguing over toys. On Sereno, Count Dooku felt it too. The elegant Sith Lord's connection to the dark side trembled as cosmic awareness far beyond anything he'd encountered registered in his consciousness. He immediately activated his secure holo communicator, knowing Sidious would already be reaching out. The hologram appeared. Palpatine, his grandfatherly facade completely abandoned, showing the yellow eyes and twisted features of Darth Sidious. "You felt it," Sidious stated rather than asked. "Something has entered the galaxy," Dooku replied, his cultured voice tight with controlled alarm. "Something that makes our war seem irrelevant." "Indeed," Sidious's hands clenched. "Continue the war for appearances, but prepare. Whatever has arrived, it threatens everything, Republic, Separatist, Jedi, and Sith alike. The rule of two means nothing if there's no galaxy to rule. But neither Sith Lord, for all their power and cunning, could comprehend the true nature of what had arrived. Galactus was not a conqueror to be negotiated with or an enemy to be defeated. He was a fundamental cosmic force, and he had just identified his first target. The agricultural world of Felucia, a planet covered in enormous fungal forests, teeming with exotic life forms, rich with force-sensitive flora and fauna, registered in Galactus's cosmic awareness as the perfect first meal. Hundreds of thousands of Felucian natives lived in harmony with their world's unique ecosystem, never imagining they were about to become nutrients for a being that had consumed civilizations since before their species existed. On the Jedi cruiser Negotiator, orbiting a battlefield in the Outer Rim, Obi-Wan Kenobi felt the disturbance and immediately sought out his former Padawan. He found Anakin Skywalker in the meditation chamber, the young Jedi Knight's face twisted with confusion. "Master, something's wrong with the Force," Anakin said without preamble. "I can feel emptiness." No, not emptiness, hunger, something that needs to consume, like a black hole pulling at everything around it. "I feel it too," Obi-Wan confirmed grimly. "And so does every Force sensitive in the galaxy. The Council has issued an emergency recall. We're to return to Coruscant immediately." "What about the Separatists? The battle is over." Obi-Wan pulled up a holographic communication from Republic intelligence. "Their forces are withdrawing too. Whatever's coming, Anakin, it's bigger than the Clone Wars. Far bigger." In deep space, Republic listening posts detected the astronomical impossibility first. A figure the size of a moon, moving through the void without ship or technology, traveling at speeds that should require hyperspace, yet leaving no hyperspace signature. Sensors couldn't classify it. Not ship, not station, not natural phenomenon. Just presence. A figure radiating energy that made sun cores seem dim. One Republic ensign, staring at the sensor readout with dawning horror, managed to whisper into his comm, "Command, we need to evacuate Felucia now. Something's coming. Something that's going to... He couldn't finish the sentence. How do you explain that a god was coming to eat a world? Galactus approached Felucia with the inevitability of tides. His massive form, kilometers tall and growing larger as he prepared to feed, became visible to the planet's inhabitants as a dark shape against the stars that blocked out constellations. The Felucian natives looked up and saw their doom descending, a cosmic entity whose very presence began affecting their planet's gravitational field. On Coruscant, the Jedi Council assembled in emergency session. Every master present physically or via hologram. The chamber, usually a place of calm deliberation, crackled with tension. "Sent scouts we have," Yoda reported, his voice heavy. 3 Jedi Knights to investigate the anomaly. Their ships approached the entity. Then... He paused, his ears drooping. Silence, complete, as if they ceased to exist. "The entity is approaching Felucia," Mace Windu stated grimly. "At current velocity, it will reach the planet in 6 hours. 500,000 Felucians are in danger, along with the Republic garrison and research stations." "We must evacuate," Shaak Ti urged. "Every transport we have..." "Insufficient time," Plo Koon interrupted. "Even if we began now, we'd save perhaps 10% of the population before the entity arrives." "Then we fight," Anakin's voice came through the hologram from the Negotiator. "Deploy the fleet, everything we have. We've faced impossible odds before." "This is not odds, young Skywalker," Yoda said quietly. "This is not battle, this is nature, cosmic nature. And fight it, we may not be able to." But even as the council debated, Galactus reached Felucia's orbit, the cosmic entity now grown to dwarf the planet itself, extended one massive hand. The power, cosmic energy from the birth of the previous universe, power that transcended the Force entirely, began to flow from his palm toward the planet below, and Felucia began to die. If you want to see more characters enter the Star Wars galaxy, hit that subscribe button and drop the name of a character you'd want to see in the comments below. May the Force be with you. The death of a world was something the Jedi had witnessed before. Order 66 would eventually show them the death of their order, though none knew it yet, but never like this. Felucia didn't explode, it didn't burn, it simply faded. Master Shakti watched from her personal shuttle, having been conducting training exercises with clone commandos when the evacuation order came. She'd managed to get 300 beings off planet before it started. Now, through the viewport, she witnessed something that would haunt her for the rest of her life. Galactus's hand glowed with violet-pink energy, the power cosmic made visible, a force that operated on principles the Force itself couldn't comprehend. Streams of that energy descended to Felucia's surface like tendrils, and wherever they touched, life energy began to flow upward, not destructively, not violently, almost gently, if such a word could apply to planetary murder. The massive fungal forests that covered Felucia began to wither. Centuries-old organisms, some large as starships, simply collapsed as their life essence was pulled away. The oceans, teeming with exotic life forms, turned gray and still. Animals fell mid-stride, their biological energy extracted in an instant. The Felucian natives, hundreds of thousands of them, felt a pulling sensation, then peaceful sleep, then nothing as their life force joined the cosmic stream flowing into Galactus. Shakti's Force senses screamed. She felt every death, every extinguished light, 500,000 lives and trillions of smaller organisms, all ending simultaneously. But what made it worse, what made it truly incomprehensible, was that through the Force, she felt no malice, no hatred, no dark side corruption. Galactus wasn't evil, he was simply feeding. "Get us out of here," she commanded her pilot, her voice steady despite the tears streaming down her face. "Make the jump to Coruscant. The Council needs to know what we're facing." As her shuttle jumped to hyperspace, Galactus completed his feeding. The power cosmic withdrew, carrying with it the accumulated life energy of an entire biosphere. Felucia remained, the planet itself intact, its continents and oceans still present. But it was empty, a gray, lifeless husk. Every organism, down to the microscopic level, had been consumed, their energy converted into sustenance for the devourer of worlds. Galactus absorbed the energy, feeling the temporary satisfaction of feeding. But his cosmic awareness already calculated the mathematics of his eternal curse. This meal would sustain him perhaps a standard month. Then the hunger would return, and this galaxy, he sensed, contained thousands of worlds like Felucia, thousands of potential meals. He began moving toward his next target. On Coruscant, in the Senate building's most secure chamber, an unprecedented meeting was taking place. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine sat at the head of the table, his public persona firmly in place. To his right, Masters Yoda, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan Kenobi representing the Jedi Council. To his left, holographic representatives of the Separatist leadership, Count Dooku, General Grievous, and Newt Gunray of the Trade Federation. The Clone Wars had paused, not ended, simply paused, like someone had pressed a button freezing the galaxy-wide conflict. Both sides had quietly pulled back forces, redirected resources, and agreed to this meeting through back-channel communications that would have been unthinkable days ago. "Let me be clear," Palpatine said, his grandfatherly voice carrying just the right note of grave concern. "The entity has consumed Felucia, 500,000 Republic citizens, and an entire biosphere simply gone. If it continues unchecked, it will consume world after world until the galaxy is nothing but dead rock floating in space. Our intelligence suggests the entity is moving toward the Ryloth system next," Dooku added, his cultured voice tight. 12 million Twi'leks and a significant separatist garrison. Then, based on its trajectory, it will likely target both Awui or Rhodia. Each world denser with life than the last. Mace Windu leaned forward, his expression harder than usual. "You're suggesting cooperation, the Republic and Separatists working together." "I'm suggesting survival," Palpatine replied. "Count Dooku and I have agreed, off the record, that our political differences mean nothing if there's no galaxy left to govern. This entity threatens us all equally." General Grievous's mechanical body clattered as he leaned closer to his holographic projector. "My droid armies fear nothing. Deploy them against this entity. Let the machines fight what organics cannot. Your droids will be as meaningless as gnats to this being," Obi-Wan said quietly. "We sent 3 Jedi Knights to investigate, masters who had faced Sith Lords and emerged victorious. They simply disappeared. No distress calls. No final transmissions. Gone as if they'd never existed." Yoda's ancient eyes held a sadness none present had seen before. "Felt their deaths? I did not. Felt their ending? Different thing. As if removed from existence they were, not killed, erased." "Then what do you suggest?" Newt Gunray's nasally voice carried genuine fear, remarkable for the greedy Nemoidian. "We cannot fight it. We cannot evacuate fast enough. Do we simply wait for our worlds to be consumed?" "We study it," Obi-Wan said. "Master T's shuttle recorded the feeding process. Our scientists are analyzing it now. Perhaps if we understand what it is, how it functions, we can find a way to stop it. Or negotiate with it." Anakin Skywalker added via hologram. The young Jedi Knight stood on the bridge of the Resolute, having just arrived in the Ryloth system with the 501st Legion to begin evacuation efforts. "Maybe it's intelligent. Maybe we can communicate, find out what it wants." "It wants to eat," Mace interrupted bluntly. "That's abundantly clear. The question is whether a being capable of consuming planets can be reasoned with, or whether it's simply a force of nature, like a black hole or supernova, that we must somehow survive." Palpatine stood, his robes settling around him with practiced dignity. "I'm authorizing the formation of a joint task force. Republic and Separatist military assets will combine under a unified command structure. Master Windu, I'm placing you in overall command, with Count Dooku as your second. Political differences are hereby suspended until this crisis is resolved." The room fell silent at the unprecedented declaration. Mace and Dooku locked eyes, Jedi Master and Sith Lord, enemies who'd fought across a dozen worlds, now being asked to cooperate. "For the record," Dooku said carefully, "I find this arrangement distasteful, but acceptable. If we don't stop this entity, there won't be a republic or confederacy left to fight over." Agreed, Mace replied, his voice equally controlled. We'll establish a joint command center on Coruscant. I want complete tactical data from both sides. Fleet positions, technological capabilities, force-sensitive operatives, everything. As the meeting continued discussing logistics and strategy, Yoda remained silent, his mind elsewhere. His connection to the Force had always been profound, but now he pushed it further, seeking understanding of this entity that existed beyond the Force's comprehension. What he found terrified him. Through the cosmic awareness that came from 900 years of Force mastery, Yoda caught glimpses of Galactus's true nature. Not a being born of the Force, but something that predated it, a survivor from a universe that had died and been reborn. A cosmic entity bound by laws that transcended local reality, and most disturbing of all, Galactus genuinely needed to consume worlds to survive. This wasn't cruelty or evil, this was his nature. How do you fight nature itself? On Ryloth, Anakin stood on the command deck of a Republic cruiser, watching the massive evacuation effort unfold. Thousands of transports descended to the planet's surface, loading panicked Twi'leks as fast as physically possible. Clone troopers maintained order, their discipline preventing riots as families scrambled for spaces on departing ships. Beside Anakin, Captain Rex reviewed tactical displays. "Sir, at current rates, we'll evacuate maybe 30% of the population before the entity arrives. 40 if we're lucky and nothing goes wrong." "That means 8 million people die," Anakin said flatly. 8 million because we can't move fast enough. "General, we're doing everything humanly possible. It's not enough." Anakin's frustration boiled over, his mechanical hand clenching. There has to be something, some way to fight it, slow it down, make it stop. His words cut off as every viewport on the command deck suddenly showed the same thing. Darkness descending, not the darkness of space, but something else. A massive shape blocking out the stars themselves. Larger than anything they'd ever imagined could exist. Galactus had arrived at Ryloth. The cosmic entity regarded the planet with the same dispassion a human might regard a piece of fruit. His cosmic senses analyzed its life energy density, finding it acceptable for his needs. One massive hand extended, and the power cosmic began to glow. "All ships retreat," Anakin commanded. "Get beyond the planet's gravity well and prepare for emergency hyperspace jumps." But even as the evacuation fleet scattered, hundreds of transports still on the surface or in lower atmosphere found themselves trapped. The power cosmic didn't just extract life energy, it created a field that disrupted technology, making hyperspace jumps impossible within its radius. Anakin watched in helpless fury as the first streams of life energy began flowing from Ryloth to Galactus. Millions of Twi'leks who hadn't made it to the transport simply collapsed, their life force joining the cosmic stream. The planet's famous forests and underground ecosystems withered and died. The transported refugees, safe beyond the effect radius, pressed against viewports in horror, watching their homeworld become a graveyard. And through the Force, every Jedi in the galaxy felt it. Millions of lives extinguished in minutes, not through violence or war, but through simple consumption. The Force itself seemed to recoil from the wrongness of it. Not dark side corruption, but something alien, something that didn't belong in this universe's natural order. On Coruscant, Master Yoda collapsed again, this time caught by Mace Windu before he hit the floor. "Master Yoda! Stop him, we must!" Yoda gasped, his ancient body trembling. "But how? How do you stop hunger itself?" No one had an answer, and Galactus, having fed upon Ryloth, was already identifying his next meal. The galaxy was running out of time. The Joint Command Center on Coruscant hummed with frantic activity, holographic displays showing fleet positions, planetary populations, evacuation estimates, and at the center, the projected trajectory of Galactus through the galaxy. Republic officers in blue worked alongside separatist tacticians in gray, the Clone Wars' bitter enemies now united by something far worse than politics. Mace Windu stood at the central command table, Count Dooku beside him. 2 weeks ago they'd tried to kill each other on Geonosis. Now they studied the same tactical readouts, their mutual hatred suspended by mutual terror. He's consumed Felucia, Ryloth, and now Saleokami, Mace reported, his voice tight with controlled fury. 14 million lives total. And he's accelerating, moving toward more densely populated systems. His trajectory points to the core worlds, Dooku observed, manipulating the holographic display with a wave of his elegant hand. Corellia, Kuat, eventually Coruscant itself. He's targeting areas with higher concentrations of life energy. Higher concentrations of the Force, Obi-Wan added from his position at a secondary station. Felucia was rich with Force-sensitive flora. Ryloth had significant populations of Force-sensitive Twi'leks. He's not just feeding on life, he's feeding on the Force itself. The implication hung in the air like a death sentence. The Jedi Temple. Hundreds of Force sensitives in one location. One of the richest concentrations of Force energy in the entire galaxy. Coruscant wasn't just a logical target, it was the ultimate meal. "We attack!" General Grievous declared, his mechanical body striding into the command center with the confidence of someone who'd never faced true defeat. "My droid fleets, the Republic's clone armies, everything we have. Overwhelm this entity with sheer firepower." "Your fleets couldn't scratch him," Anakin's voice came through comm channels. The young Jedi had returned from Ryloth, haunted by what he'd witnessed but channeling his horror into aggressive determination. "I watched 1,000 ships fire on him during the Ryloth evacuation. Turbo lasers, ion cannons, proton torpedoes, nothing. He didn't even notice. Our weapons don't operate on the same scale as his existence." "Then we use unconventional weapons," Grievous insisted. "The Malevolence's ion cannon. The separatist biological agents we developed for..." "Biological weapons won't affect an entity that feeds on biology itself," Dooku interrupted his general with barely concealed contempt. "And the Malevolence was destroyed, as you well know. We need something else, something beyond conventional military strategy." Mace turned to the holographic image of Yoda, who had remained in the Jedi Temple's meditation chambers since Ryloth's consumption. The ancient master looked older than anyone had ever seen him, diminished somehow, as if the cosmic wrongness of Galactus's presence was draining him personally. "Master Yoda, what have you learned through the Force?" Yoda's eyes opened slowly. "Understood him, I begin to. Not evil this entity is, not dark side, simply hungry. As a black hole consumes light, so he consumes life. His nature, it is. Fighting him with weapons is like fighting gravity with blasters." "So we do nothing?" Anakin demanded, his frustration boiling over. "We just watch as he eats the galaxy. That's not acceptable. There has to be something." "A way there may be," Yoda interrupted quietly, "but weapons it is not. To reach him through the Force, we must try. Make him understand, make him see alternatives, or convince him to seek sustenance elsewhere." Negotiate with a planet eater, Mace said flatly. You're suggesting we ask him to stop being hungry. Suggest I do that, we speak to him. What else we have? Silence fell across the command center. Politicians, generals, Jedi, and Sith alike confronted the same uncomfortable truth. Against Galactus, they had no viable military options. The combined might of the Republic and Separatist fleets was meaningless against a being who treated planetary bombardment as gentle rain. Fine, Anakin said finally, his voice hard with determination. Then I'll go. I'll take a ship, approach him, try to communicate. If there's even a chance. No. Mace's response was immediate. You're too important to the war effort and too volatile for diplomacy. If anyone approaches this entity, it must be someone with patience and wisdom. I'll go, Obi-Wan said quietly. Everyone turned to the Jedi Master, his beard neat despite the stress, his eyes calm despite the fear. I've negotiated with warlords, criminals, and politicians who make Sith Lords seem reasonable. Perhaps a cosmic entity is simply the next challenge. Obi-Wan, this is suicide, Anakin protested. You saw what happened to the Jedi we sent to investigate. They just disappeared. Perhaps they didn't approach correctly. Perhaps they went with weapons drawn and hostile intentions. Obi-Wan managed a slight smile. I'll go with an open mind and a willingness to understand. That's what diplomats do. Dooku spoke, his voice carrying unexpected thoughtfulness. The Jedi way may not be sufficient here. This entity exists beyond the Force. Perhaps he requires something beyond light-side philosophy to comprehend. Are you volunteering, Count? Mace asked with dangerous softness. I'm observing that if pure light side failed, perhaps a balance is required. Dooku's eyes glittered. Send your negotiator, but accept that if he fails, other methods must be attempted. Before further debate could occur, alarms screamed across the command center. A tactical officer's voice cut through. The entity has changed course. He's bypassed both Awui and is heading directly for Coruscant. The holographic display shifted, showing Galactus's new trajectory, no longer moving through the outer rim, consuming lesser worlds. Now he was cutting straight toward the galactic capital, the most populous planet in the galaxy, home to 1 trillion beings and the highest concentration of Force sensitives anywhere. Evacuation timeline, Palpatine demanded, having entered the command center during the discussion. Impossible, Chancellor, a Republic officer reported grimly. Coruscant's population can't be evacuated in less than 6 months. He'll arrive in 4 days. 4 days. 1 trillion lives, and beyond that, the Jedi Temple, the Senate, the Republic's heart. If Galactus consumed Coruscant, both Republic and Confederacy would collapse into chaos. The galaxy would die not from the entity's hunger alone, but from the power vacuum his feeding would create. We have no choice, Obi-Wan said, his voice firm despite the death sentence he was accepting. I'll take an envoy ship and intercept him en route, try to establish communication, reason with him if reason is possible. And if it's not? Anakin asked, his voice cracking slightly. Obi-Wan placed a hand on his former Padawan's shoulder. Then at least we'll understand our enemy better, and you'll find another way. You always do, Anakin. That's why you're the chosen one. The two Jedi embraced, a rare display of emotion in front of so many observers. Then Obi-Wan turned and walked toward the hangar alone, heading to negotiate with a god. 12 hours later, Obi-Wan's diplomatic shuttle dropped out of hyperspace in Galactus's path. Through the viewport, the Jedi Master saw something that nearly shattered his composure. Galactus stood in space like a titan from ancient mythology, humanoid in shape but cosmic in scale, easily 100 kilometers tall, his armor purple and blue, his helmet creating shadows that seemed to consume light itself. Energy crackled around him, the power cosmic made visible, and his eyes, ancient beyond comprehension, turned toward the tiny shuttle approaching him. Obi-Wan felt the entity's attention like a physical weight. The Force itself seemed to flee from Galactus's presence, creating a void in Obi-Wan's senses that left him spiritually deaf. He'd never felt so alone, so small, so utterly insignificant. But Obi-Wan Kenobi was not one to surrender to despair. He activated his ship's communication array, broadcasting on all frequencies. "I am Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Master, representative of the Galactic Republic. I come seeking to understand you and to discuss the fate of the worlds in your path. Will you speak with me?" For a long moment, nothing. Then the shuttle's cockpit filled with a voice that was less sound and more concept, meaning transmitted directly into Obi-Wan's consciousness, bypassing ears and language entirely. "I am Galactus. I have existed since before your universe was born. Your worlds contain energy I require to survive. This is not cruelty, it is nature." Obi-Wan steadied himself against the mental pressure of Galactus's communication. "I understand nature, but nature can be guided, redirected. Perhaps there is alternative sustenance we could provide. I have heard such pleas on 1,000 worlds, in 1,000 galaxies. Civilizations beg, civilizations bargain, civilizations burn. And I continue because I must, because existence itself requires my survival." "Why?" Obi-Wan pressed. "What role do you serve that requires the death of trillions?" The answer that came shook Obi-Wan to his core, revealing cosmic truths that the Force had never shown him. Galactus's role in the universe's cycle of death and rebirth, his curse and his purpose, his eternal hunger that would only end when reality itself ended. And Obi-Wan realized, with dawning horror, that he hadn't found an enemy. He'd found a force of nature that couldn't be stopped, couldn't be reasoned with, and would consume Coruscant in 3 days regardless of any argument he could make. He had failed. Obi-Wan's shuttle returned to Coruscant, carrying not hope, but understanding. And understanding brought no comfort. The Jedi Master's report to the Joint Command Center silenced even General Grievous's mechanical bravado. "He doesn't hate us," Obi-Wan explained, his voice hollow with the weight of cosmic truth. "He doesn't even notice us as individuals. We're nutrients, energy sources. To Galactus, consuming Coruscant is no different than a human eating a meal. He requires our life force to survive, and he's been doing this since before our universe formed its first stars." "Then he's simply evil," Anakin said flatly. "A monster who—" "No." Obi-Wan shook his head. "That's what I'm trying to explain. He serves a purpose. In his home reality, Galactus exists as a fundamental cosmic force, like entropy or gravity. He's part of the universal cycle of death and rebirth. Without him, his universe would become stagnant and eventually collapse. He doesn't want to consume worlds. He must consume worlds or existence itself suffers." Mace Windu's expression darkened. "You're saying we can't appeal to his morality because he operates beyond morality." "I'm saying morality doesn't apply to him any more than it applies to a black hole. He is what he is, and he's going to consume Coruscant in 63 hours unless we find something, some alternative that his nature will accept. The command center erupted in desperate strategizing. Military officers proposed increasingly futile attack plans. Politicians argued about which populations to prioritize for partial evacuation. Separatist commanders suggested sacrificing Republic worlds to buy time for Confederate systems. Through it all, Master Yoda sat in meditation, his consciousness extended through the Force, seeking answers in the cosmic energy that bound the galaxy together. And slowly, a possibility began to form. An alternative, Yoda murmured, his eyes still closed. Spoke of it, Obi-Wan did. If consume worlds he must, then another source we must provide. What source? Mace asked. What could possibly substitute for a planet's life energy? The Force itself. Everyone turned to the ancient master as his eyes opened, filled with a mixture of hope and terrible sacrifice. Channel the Force we could. Thousands of Jedi united in meditation. Offer him concentrated Force energy, enough to sustain him without consuming Coruscant. A sacrifice of spirit instead of life. That would kill the Jedi involved, Dooku observed, his voice carrying unexpected weight. Channeling that much Force energy through mortal bodies, it would burn them out entirely. Perhaps, or perhaps transform them. Unknown the outcome is. Yoda's ears drooped, but save a trillion lives it might. Anakin stepped forward, his face showing the determination that made him both the Jedi's greatest hope and their greatest concern. There's another option. Somewhere in this galaxy there must be weapons powerful enough to hurt him. Sith artifacts, ancient Jedi technology, something from before the Republic that could challenge a cosmic entity. The Sith have such artifacts, Dooku admitted, drawing surprised looks from the Jedi present. Ancient weapons of focused dark side energy, capable of destroying stars, but they were hidden for good reason. Their use corrupts everything they touch. And the Jedi? Mace asked, his voice hard. What have we hidden? Yoda was silent for a long moment. Then, on Tython, the birthplace of the Jedi Order, artifacts exist from when the Force was first understood. Weapons of pure light side energy created to battle cosmic threats. Forbidden they were declared, for their power unbalances the Force itself. So we have Sith weapons and Jedi weapons, both hidden because they're too dangerous to use, Anakin summarized. And we're debating whether to use them against a being who eats planets for breakfast. Seems like an easy choice to me. The choice is not easy, Obi-Wan countered. Using such weapons could cause damage beyond Galactus himself. Tears in reality. Corruption of the Force. Consequences we can't predict. Consequences are better than extinction. Before the argument could escalate, Palpatine raised one hand, commanding silence with the authority of his office. Perhaps we need not choose one option. Perhaps we prepare all of them. The Jedi meditation to offer Galactus alternative sustenance. The ancient weapons as a backup if negotiation fails. And continued evacuation efforts to save as many lives as possible regardless of outcome. A three-pronged approach, Mace said slowly. Diplomacy, sacrifice, and Force, each supporting the others. Precisely. Palpatine's grandfatherly smile carried an edge that only Dooku recognized, the Sith Lord calculating how to turn even galactic extinction to his advantage. Count Dooku, you will retrieve the Sith artifacts from their hiding places. Master Yoda, prepare your meditation ritual, and General Skywalker. He turned to Anakin with apparent warmth. You will lead the military contingent. If Galactus cannot be fed or reasoned with, you will be our last line of defense." Anakin stood straighter, the weight of responsibility settling on his shoulders. "I won't let you down, Chancellor. I know you won't, my boy. You never do." As the command center mobilized for 3 simultaneous operations, Obi-Wan pulled Anakin aside. "You realize what the Chancellor is doing. He's putting you in the most dangerous position. Direct confrontation with Galactus if all else fails. Someone has to do it. And if the ancient weapons don't work, if you're facing a cosmic entity with nothing but a lightsaber and the Force." Anakin's jaw tightened. "Then I'll improvise. That's what I do, Master. That's what I've always done." There was nothing Obi-Wan could say to that. Anakin's recklessness had saved them countless times. Perhaps it would again. Or perhaps this was the one enemy that couldn't be defeated through courage and improvisation. The next 48 hours became a blur of desperate activity. On Korriban, Count Dooku descended into Sith tombs that hadn't been opened in millennia. Ancient guardians, spirits of dead Sith lords bound to protect their secrets, rose against him, but the Count's mastery of the dark side proved sufficient. In the deepest chamber, he found what he sought, the Dark Staff, a weapon of such concentrated dark side energy that it could theoretically wound even cosmic entities. Its touch burned his hands despite his power, and its whispers promised dominion over all things if he would only embrace it fully. Dooku resisted. For now, the weapon's purpose was clear. Its temptation could be dealt with later. On Tython, a team of Jedi Masters led by Plo Koon and Ki-Adi-Mundi entered temples that predated the Republic itself. Within, they found the Celestial Orrery, a device created by the ancient Jedi to focus light side energy into beams capable of affecting cosmic phenomena. It had been forbidden because its use drained the Force from entire systems, leaving them spiritually dead. But against Galactus, perhaps such extreme measures were justified. And on Coruscant, in the Jedi Temple's great meditation chamber, Master Yoda began assembling the largest gathering of Force sensitives in galactic history. Not just Jedi. Anyone with Force sensitivity was invited to participate. Younglings and Masters, Jedi and independent Force users. Even Night Sisters from Dathomir sent representatives, their dark side witchcraft temporarily allied with light side meditation. Thousands of beings sitting in concentric circles preparing to channel the Force itself into an offering for the Devourer of Worlds. "If this works," Mace Windu said, standing at the chamber's entrance with Yoda, "we may create something the Force has never experienced. Focused energy of this magnitude could transform things, change the nature of our connection to the Force permanently. Or kill us all, it might," Yoda replied with surprising calm. "But die we will certainly if nothing we do. This way, at least, purpose our deaths will have." Outside the temple, Galactus grew larger in the sky. His approach was visible now to the naked eye, a dark shape against the stars that seemed to grow by the hour. Coruscant's trillion inhabitants looked up and saw their doom descending, and even the most cynical among them began to pray. In the Senate, Palpatine addressed the population via galaxy-wide broadcast. His words were carefully crafted to inspire hope while preparing for tragedy, the speech of a politician who knew how to manipulate emotions even in humanity's darkest hour. But in his private chambers afterward, Darth Sidious allowed his true feelings to surface: rage, frustration. For decades, he'd manipulated the Republic and the Jedi, positioning himself to create an empire that would rule for 10,000 years. Now some cosmic interloper threatened to consume everything before his plans could reach fruition. If the Jedi's ritual failed, if Dooku's artifacts proved insufficient, Sidious would have no choice but to reveal himself, to unleash the full power of the dark side against Galactus, even if it meant exposing his identity and destroying his carefully laid plans. Better to rule ashes than to be consumed with the rest. 40 hours remained until Galactus reached Coruscant, and aboard the Resolute, Anakin Skywalker stood alone on the observation deck, watching the cosmic entity approach. In his hands, he held a Sith holocron that Palpatine had secretly provided, ancient knowledge of techniques forbidden to Jedi, powers that might give him an edge against a god. The dark voices whispered promises of strength, of victory, of saving Padme and everyone he loved through power. The Jedi denied him. Anakin closed his eyes and made a choice that would determine the fate of the galaxy. 36 hours before Galactus reached Coruscant, the combined fleet assembled, the largest military force in galactic history. 3,000 Republic Star destroyers flew in formation alongside 2,000 separatist dreadnoughts, their guns silent, their old enmity forgotten. Clone troopers and battle droids shared hangar bays without incident. Enemies became allies because they had no other choice. Admiral Wolf Yularen coordinated the Republic forces from the bridge of the Resolute, while the separatist Admiral Trench, his mechanical body clicking with nervous energy, commanded the Confederate vessels. Between them, they wielded enough firepower to conquer 100 systems. Against Galactus, they commanded approximately nothing. The entity will enter weapons range in 6 hours, Yularen reported to the Joint Command. At that point, we'll have one chance to deploy the ancient weapons before he reaches Coruscant. If the Celestial Orrery and the Dark Staff fail to affect him, he didn't need to finish. Everyone knew what failure meant. On the invisible hand, Count Dooku held the Dark Staff and felt its corruption seeping into his soul. The weapon was alive in some sense, a concentration of dark side energy so dense it had achieved a form of malevolent sentience. It wanted to be used. It wanted to consume. In that way, it was not unlike Galactus himself. "You will have one strike," Dooku murmured to the weapon, feeling its eager response. "Make it count." Aboard a Jedi cruiser, Masters Plo Koon and Ki-Adi-Mundi calibrated the Celestial Orrery with assistance from the best scientists both factions could provide. The ancient device hummed with light side energy, its crystalline structure focusing the force into coherent beams that could theoretically affect even cosmic entities. "The readings are beyond anything in our databases," Ki-Adi-Mundi observed, his Syrian brain struggling to process the orrery's power levels. "When we activate this weapon, it will drain the force from an area spanning several parsecs. Millions of force sensitives will lose their connection temporarily. Some may never recover it." "A price worth paying if it stops the Devourer," Plo Koon replied, though his mask hid the concern on his face. "But we must time the strike perfectly. Too early and we waste our one shot. Too late and Coruscant dies regardless." The burden of timing fell to Anakin Skywalker. The Chosen One flew his modified Eta II interceptor at the head of a small squadron, himself, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka Tano, and a dozen of the best Jedi pilots. Their mission was to approach Galactus, assess his reaction to initial weapons fire, and signal the ancient weapons deployment at the optimal moment. It was effectively a suicide mission that none of them acknowledged as such. "You shouldn't be here," Anakin told Ahsoka over their private comm channel. His Padawan flew off his wing, her presence a comfort and a concern. "This is too dangerous. With respect, Master, there's nowhere in the galaxy that isn't dangerous right now." Ahsoka's voice carried the determination that made her such a promising Jedi. "If we're going to face a cosmic entity, I'd rather do it beside you than hiding in a meditation chamber." "She has a point," Obi-Wan added, his tone carrying familiar dry humor despite the circumstances. "Besides, someone needs to watch your back. You have a tendency toward overconfidence in these situations." "It's not overconfidence if you actually succeed," Anakin replied. "That remains to be seen." Their squadron accelerated ahead of the fleet, approaching the point where Galactus would first become visible to their sensors. Behind them, 5,000 capital ships waited in formation, their crews knowing they were likely witnessing humanity's last stand. And on Coruscant, in the Jedi Temple's meditation chamber, the ritual began. 7,000 Force sensitives sat in concentric circles spanning the vast chamber. Jedi Masters and Padawans, independent Force users from a dozen traditions, Night Sisters whose dark side magic wove uncomfortably with Jedi light, even some Sith acolytes whom Dooku had sent. Their presence tolerated because every scrap of power mattered now. At the center sat Master Yoda, his small form the focal point for the greatest concentration of Force energy ever deliberately assembled. "Begin, we must," Yoda said, his voice carrying to every participant through the Force itself. "Open your minds. Release your fear. Channel everything, light and dark, love and pain, hope and despair into the center. Become the offering." Thousands of minds joined simultaneously. The effect was immediate and overwhelming. Force energy concentrating into visible light, the air itself crackling with power. The walls of the ancient temple resonating with frequencies that predated civilization. On Coruscant's streets, ordinary citizens looked up as the Jedi Temple began to glow. Blue-white energy gathered above its spires, forming a beacon visible from orbit, from the outer system, perhaps from the edge of the galaxy itself. Galactus felt it. In the void between worlds, the devourer of worlds sensed the concentration of Force energy and recognized what it represented. The galaxy's Force sensitives gathering their collective power into an offering, a substitute meal, a negotiation. It was not the first time civilizations had tried this. It would likely not be the last. The question was whether their offering would be sufficient. Anakin's squadron reached visual range of Galactus, and even through the viewport of his interceptor, the Jedi Knight felt his breath stop. The cosmic entity dominated space itself, a humanoid shape larger than moons, his armor ancient and regal, his presence distorting reality in ways that made cockpit instruments spin uselessly. "I've seen a lot of things," Ahsoka said quietly, "but this... How do you fight something like this?" "We don't fight him," Obi-Wan replied. "We survive him. There's a difference." Anakin activated his tactical systems, downloading data to the fleet. "All ships, the entity is in range. Admiral Yularen, Admiral Trench. Begin bombardment on my signal. Everything you have. Let's see if we can get his attention." The combined fleet opened fire. 5,000 capital ships unleashed hell. Turbo laser batteries designed to crack planetary shields. Ion cannons that could disable star destroyers. proton torpedoes by the hundreds of thousands, their blue trails creating rivers of light in the darkness. Separatist weapons joined Republic, buzz droid swarms, plasma torpedoes, experimental Geonosian sonic weapons. The barrage was beautiful in its destruction, a symphony of firepower that would have reduced any conventional enemy to atoms. Galactus didn't notice. The weapon's fire struck his cosmic form and simply dissipated. Turbo laser bolts vanished against his armor without leaving marks. Torpedoes detonated against his body as harmlessly as raindrops. The combined military might of a galaxy at war, everything both factions could bring to bear, meant nothing to a being who had survived the death and rebirth of the universe itself. "Confirmed," Anakin reported grimly. "Conventional weapons are completely ineffective." He's not even bothering to shield. We're just that far beneath his notice. On the invisible hand, Dooku watched the failed bombardment and tightened his grip on the dark staff. Then it falls to us, the ancient weapons. "Not yet," Mace Windu commanded over the joint channel. "Wait until he's closer. The orrery needs optimal range, and we'll only get one chance." "The Jedi ritual is reaching critical intensity," reported a technician monitoring the temple's energy output. "They can't maintain this level much longer. Whatever we're going to do, it needs to be soon." Galactus continued his approach, drawn now not just by Coruscant's life energy, but by the Force beacon burning above the Jedi temple. The offering intrigued him. It had been a long time since any civilization had gathered enough power to even attempt such negotiation. 20 hours until he reached the planet. In the temple, Master Yoda felt his body beginning to fail. The Force energy flowing through him was too much for his ancient form. He was burning himself out to maintain the ritual, his life force becoming part of the offering. This, he accepted. If his death could save 1 trillion lives, it was a worthy exchange. But would it be enough? Through the gathered Force energy, Yoda reached out to Galactus's cosmic consciousness, not words. The Devourer was beyond language. Instead, Yoda sent understanding, the value of the lives below, the civilizations that would end if Coruscant was consumed, the beauty and meaning that the Force represented, and crucially, the offering itself, concentrated Force energy freely given, enough to sustain Galactus temporarily without requiring planetary consumption. Galactus received the communication. For a long moment that stretched across the cosmos, the Devourer of Worlds considered. Then he responded, "Your offering is noted. The energy you provide is substantial, but it is temporary. Sustenance that will last only days before my hunger returns, and then I will require worlds again." Yoda's heart sank, even as hope flickered. Galactus wasn't rejecting the offering, he was negotiating, acknowledging that the Force energy had value but pointing out its limitations. The galaxy couldn't provide such an offering every few days. The cost in Force-sensitive lives would eventually exceed even planetary consumption. But it was an opening, a possibility, and then everything went wrong. Aboard the Invisible Hand, the Dark Staff seized control of Count Dooku, the ancient weapon's malevolent intelligence. Sensing Galactus's momentary distraction by the Jedi offering, saw an opportunity. It poured its corruption into Dooku's mind, overwhelming even the Sith Lord's formidable will. "Strike now," the weapon screamed into his consciousness. "While he is distracted, destroy him and claim his power for yourself. Become the new Devourer, rule all realities." Dooku's hands moved without his conscious command. raising the dark staff and unleashing its full power toward Galactus. A beam of concentrated dark side energy, everything the ancient Sith had poured into their most terrible weapon, lanced across space and struck the devourer of worlds square in the chest. For the first time since entering the galaxy, Galactus felt pain, and his response was immediate: fury. The dark staff's attack was everything the ancient Sith had designed it to be. Concentrated dark-side energy capable of wounding cosmic entities, a weapon born from hatred so pure it transcended normal reality. The beam struck Galactus and actually penetrated his cosmic defenses, burning into his ancient form, causing damage he hadn't experienced in millennia. For one glorious, terrible moment, it seemed the weapon might work. Then Galactus turned his full attention to the galaxy that had dared to hurt him. "You wound me." The words weren't angry in any human sense. They were simply absolute, the statement of a cosmic force acknowledging an insult and preparing to respond in kind. Galactus's eyes blazed with the power cosmic, and he raised one massive hand toward the combined fleet. "All ships, evasive action," Admiral Yularen screamed. But it was already too late. The power cosmic erupted from Galactus's palm, not a beam, not a weapon, but a wave of cosmic energy that washed across space like a tsunami. Republic and Separatist ships alike were caught in the discharge. Shields meant to withstand planetary bombardment failed instantly. Hulls designed to survive direct turbo laser hits crumpled like paper. In 3 seconds, 400 capital ships ceased to exist, not destroyed, unmade. The power cosmic didn't merely damage matter, it converted it directly into energy, which Galactus absorbed to heal his wound. Ships became light, became sustenance, their crew's life force joining the cosmic stream. 200,000 lives, clone and droid and organic, ended in an instant. "Fall back," Mace Windu commanded over all channels. "All ships fall back. Do not engage." The surviving fleet scattered in desperate retreat, hyperspace engines engaging the moment ships cleared the cosmic discharge zone. Galactus watched them flee with the dispassion of a giant observing insects. They were irrelevant now. His attention had shifted to the source of the attack. On the invisible hand, Count Dooku screamed. The Dark Staff's control had broken the moment its attack failed, leaving the Sith Lord fully aware of what he'd done. His gambit, the weapon's gambit, had failed catastrophically. Instead of destroying Galactus, he'd wounded him just enough to enrage him, and now the Devourer's cosmic awareness focused on the ship that had fired. "Dooku," Galactus spoke directly into the Count's mind, bypassing all barriers and defenses. "You attacked me with a weapon of darkness. Your ambition outweighed your wisdom. Now you will serve as example." The invisible hand shuddered as cosmic energy gripped it. Dooku tried to move, to escape, but found his body frozen, the power cosmic holding him in place as easily as he might hold a child. "Master," General Grievous's voice came over the comm. "I'm launching a rescue shuttle." "No." Dooku's voice was calm, the acceptance of a man who knew he'd overreached. "Save yourself, General. Continue the fight. Someone must survive to..." The invisible hand crumpled. Not exploded, crumpled as if a giant hand had simply closed around it. The massive Separatist flagship, pride of the Confederate Navy, was compressed into a ball of metal smaller than a starfighter. Then that ball glowed, converted to energy, and flowed into Galactus's form. Count Dooku, Dark Lord of the Sith, Master of Makashi, leader of the Separatist Alliance, ceased to exist. The Dark Staff, ancient weapon of concentrated evil, was destroyed with him, its malevolent intelligence finally silenced, its corruption ended. In his death, Dooku had accidentally accomplished something good, removing one of the most dangerous artifacts in galactic history. Small comfort to those who witnessed his end. On Coruscant, in the Jedi Temple, Master Yoda felt Dooku's death through the Force. The former Jedi, the fallen friend, the Sith Lord, gone in an instant, his decades of accumulated power meaning nothing against cosmic fury, and Galactus was still coming. "The offering," Yoda gasped, his body failing but his will unbroken. "Must complete the offering. Only chance. It is now." The 7,000 Force sensitives redoubled their efforts, pouring everything they had into the beacon of energy above the temple. The light grew brighter, more intense, a star of pure Force power, burning in Coruscant's sky. But would it be enough? Galactus had been hurt, enraged, insulted. The careful negotiation Yoda had begun was shattered by Dooku's attack. Now the Devourer approached not as a neutral force of nature, but as an angry god seeking retribution. In his interceptor, Anakin watched the destruction of the Invisible Hand with horror and fury in equal measure. 400 ships, 200,000 lives. Dooku, whom he'd wanted to defeat himself, all gone because a Sith weapon had seized its wielder at the worst possible moment. "We have to do something," Anakin said, his voice hard. The fleet attack failed. The Darkstaff failed. The only weapon left is the celestial orrery. "Anakin, if we use the orrery now while he's angry, it might just make things worse," Obi-Wan began. "What's worse than extinction?" Anakin demanded. "He's going to consume Coruscant, 1 trillion lives. Padme is down there, and the Jedi Temple, and everyone we've ever fought to protect. We have to try." "Master Skywalker is right," Ahsoka added quietly. "We're out of options. It's the orrery or nothing." Obi-Wan closed his eyes, feeling the weight of the decision. The celestial orrery would drain the Force from parsecs of space, potentially crippling every Force sensitive in the region. It might not even work against Galactus's cosmic power. But Anakin was right. They had nothing else. "Do it," Obi-Wan said. "Signal Masters Plo Koon and Ki-Adi-Mundi. Fire the orrery." Anakin's hands flew across his controls, sending the coded signal to the Jedi cruiser carrying the ancient weapon. Across the void, Plo Koon received the command and turned to his fellow master. "It's time. May the Force be with us all." The celestial orrery activated. Ancient mechanisms that hadn't functioned in 20,000 years hummed to life. Crystalline structures focused the Force itself, channeling it from across the region, concentrating it into a beam of pure light-side energy aimed directly at Galactus. On Coruscant, every Force-sensitive felt it, a sudden pulling, as if the Force itself was being drawn away from them. In the meditation chamber, several of the weaker participants collapsed as their connection to the Force temporarily severed. Even Master Yoda gasped, feeling the orrery's drain compound the exhaustion of maintaining the offering. The beam struck Galactus, light-side energy, the focused power of the Force itself, concentrated through technology designed by ancient Jedi to affect cosmic phenomena, hit the Devourer of Worlds with everything the galaxy could muster. The beam was visible across the system, a lance of white light connecting the Jedi cruiser to the cosmic entity. Galactus staggered. For one incredible moment, hope flared in every heart watching. The cosmic entity actually recoiled from the attack, his form wavering, his advance halting. The power cosmic and the light side of the Force clashed in a display that would be remembered in legends for millennia. Then Galactus stabilized. He turned toward the source of the attack, his eyes blazing. The celestial orrery had hurt him, actually hurt him more than the Darkstaff, more than anything in this galaxy. But it wasn't enough. He was Galactus. He had survived the death of the universe itself. He would not be stopped by the weapons of insects. Impressive. The word wasn't mockery, it was genuine acknowledgement. This galaxy had managed to wound him twice, something few civilizations ever achieved. But acknowledgement didn't mean mercy. But insufficient. Galactus raised his hand toward the Jedi cruiser carrying the orrery. "Eject! Everyone eject now!" Plo Koon commanded, but there was no time. The power cosmic struck the cruiser and converted it to energy instantaneously. Masters Plo Koon and Ki Adi-Mundi, two of the wisest Jedi in the Order, were gone. Along with them went the celestial orrery, the last weapon the galaxy possessed that could affect a cosmic entity. Anakin screamed in rage and grief, his Force presence erupting with dark side energy that he struggled to control. Friends, mentors, heroes, all dying around him while he watched helplessly from his tiny fighter. "Anakin!" Obi-Wan's voice cut through his fury. "Control yourself. This isn't over." "How is it not over?" Anakin demanded. "We've thrown everything at him. Fleets, Sith weapons, Jedi weapons. Nothing works. He's going to eat Coruscant, and there's nothing we can do." "There's still the offering," Ahsoka said quietly. "Master Yoda's ritual. It's still going." She was right. Through the Force, they could still feel the beacon burning above the Jedi Temple, diminished now, weakened by the orrery's drain and the deaths of Jedi Masters, but still active. 7,000 Force sensitives still channeling their energy into an offering for the Devourer. It was all they had left. "We need to buy them time," Obi-Wan said. "Keep Galactus occupied while Master Yoda completes the ritual." "Occupy him how?" Anakin asked bitterly. "He doesn't even notice us." "Then we make him notice." Obi-Wan accelerated his interceptor directly toward Galactus, and after a moment's hesitation, Anakin and Ahsoka followed. 3 tiny fighters approaching a cosmic god, their pilots knowing they were likely flying to their deaths, but refusing to surrender while any hope remained. Galactus watched them come, these small beings in their primitive craft, approaching him despite having witnessed the destruction of fleets and the death of their heroes. Foolish, brave, fascinating. He could destroy them with a thought, but something stayed his hand. Curiosity, perhaps, or the faintest glimmer of respect for their courage. Anakin's fighter stopped directly in Galactus's path, so close the cosmic entity filled his entire viewport. The young Jedi opened his mind completely, broadcasting his thoughts and feelings with all the power of the Chosen One. "We are not your enemies. We only want to live. The offering still burns. Concentrated Force energy, freely given. Take it and spare our worlds, please." Galactus regarded this small being who dared to address him directly. Through the Force, he sensed Anakin's power, remarkable for his species, significant even by cosmic standards. The Chosen One, his people called him, a prophecy child. Interesting. "Your offering is inadequate for my needs," Galactus replied directly to Anakin's mind. "But your courage is noted. Speak, small one. You have until I reach your world." 12 hours. Galactus was giving them 12 hours to convince him not to consume Coruscant. It wasn't much, but it was something. And in that moment, Anakin Skywalker realized that the fate of 1 trillion lives rested on his ability to negotiate with a god. 12 hours to save 1 trillion lives. Anakin Skywalker hung in space before a god. His interceptor's cockpit, the most important negotiating chamber in galactic history. Behind him, the shattered remnants of the combined fleet regrouped. Below, Coruscant waited for its fate to be decided. And in the Jedi Temple, Master Yoda and thousands of Force sensitives maintained their offering, burning themselves out to provide whatever leverage Anakin could use. "I need to understand you," Anakin said, his thoughts projected directly to Galactus's cosmic consciousness. "You say our offering is inadequate. Tell me what would be adequate. There must be something, some alternative to consuming inhabited worlds." Galactus was silent for a long moment. When he responded, his communication carried something almost like weariness. "I have existed since before your universe was born, chosen one. I have consumed countless worlds, heard countless pleas, considered countless alternatives. None have freed me from my hunger. It is my nature, my curse, my purpose." "Everything has alternatives," Anakin insisted. "Even nature can be redirected. Rivers can be dammed. Storms can be weathered. There has to be something you can consume besides inhabited worlds." "There is. Worlds without sentient life. Worlds rich in energy but empty of civilization. I prefer these when they can be found. But they are rare, and my hunger does not wait for preference." Hope flared in Anakin's chest. "Then that's our answer. This galaxy has thousands of uninhabited worlds. Gas giants, molten planets, worlds with energy but no life. We can identify them for you, guide you to them. You feed, we survive. Everyone wins. Your galaxy's uninhabited worlds would sustain me for years, perhaps decades. But eventually they would be exhausted, and then I would hunger again, and your inhabited worlds would remain. Then we find more. We explore beyond the known regions. The galaxy is vast. There must be energy sources we haven't discovered yet." Anakin's mind raced through possibilities. "Or we create them. Our scientists could develop synthetic energy sources, artificial planets, something to feed you indefinitely without consuming lives." Galactus considered this. The Chosen One was creative, desperate, determined. All qualities the Devourer had seen before in beings trying to save their worlds. Most such negotiations ended the same way, with promises that couldn't be kept and worlds that were consumed regardless. But this one was different. The force that permeated this galaxy was unlike anything Galactus had encountered. A cosmic energy source that connected all living things, concentrated in certain individuals, apparently capable of being channeled and offered. And this Chosen One possessed more of that energy than any single being Galactus had sensed. "Your force interests me," Galactus said. "It is life energy made conscious, woven into your galaxy's fabric, the offering your people provide. It sustains me differently than planetary consumption, more efficiently, more purely." Anakin seized on this. "Then take more of it. The Jedi, the Sith, every Force sensitive in the galaxy. We can contribute to regular offerings. Controlled sacrifices of Force energy instead of random planetary consumption." "You would sacrifice your people's connection to this Force to feed me?" "If it saves lives, yes. The Force is powerful, but it's not worth more than the beings it connects." Anakin felt the rightness of this truth even as he spoke it. The Jedi treated the Force as sacred, something to be preserved above all else. But what good was mystical power if civilizations died to protect it? In the meditation chamber on Coruscant, Master Yoda heard Anakin's words through the Force, and felt a profound shift in his understanding. For 900 years, he'd taught that the Force must be protected, preserved, kept in balance. Now, a young Jedi was proposing to sacrifice portions of that Force to save lives, treating it as a resource to be used rather than a power to be revered. And Yoda realized Anakin was right. The Force existed to serve life, not the other way around. If channeling Force energy could spare inhabited worlds from consumption, then that was the proper use of their power. The Jedi had forgotten this truth in their dogmatic protection of tradition. "Support you, Anakin, the Council does," Yoda projected through their connection. "Negotiate this bargain. Whatever Force energy required, we will provide." Galactus sensed the ancient master's agreement and felt something he rarely experienced: genuine consideration. This galaxy was offering him a sustainable alternative, regular Force energy contributions in exchange for sparing inhabited worlds. It was unprecedented, it was intriguing, it might actually work. "Your proposal has merit," Galactus acknowledged, "but words are easily spoken. I require proof that your galaxy can provide what it promises, a demonstration of commitment." "Name it," Anakin said immediately. "Whatever proof you need." "The offering your Force wielders provide now. Increase it tenfold. Show me that your galaxy can generate the energy I require without planetary consumption. If the demonstration satisfies me, I will consider your bargain." Tenfold. The current offering was already straining 7,000 Force sensitives to their limits. A tenfold increase would require... Anakin did the math and felt his heart clench. It would require every Force sensitive in the galaxy contributing simultaneously. Jedi, Sith, Night Sisters, independent Force users, everyone with a connection to the mystical energy field, all channeling their power into a single offering. And even then, some of them would die. The strain would be too much for the weakest, the oldest, the youngest. The offering Galactus demanded would cost lives even as it saved worlds. That's a lot to ask, Anakin said carefully. "Some of our people won't survive the strain. Fewer than would die if I consumed your world. This is my offer, chosen one. Demonstrate your galaxy's commitment, or I will feed as nature demands." It wasn't mercy. It wasn't even negotiation in the traditional sense. It was simply Galactus being practical. If this galaxy could provide adequate sustenance through Force offerings, it was more efficient than planetary consumption. If it couldn't, he would eat Coruscant and move on. Anakin turned to Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, whose interceptors hovered nearby. "You heard him. We need every Force sensitive in the galaxy contributing to the offering, not just willing participants, everyone." "That includes the Sith," Obi-Wan observed quietly, "Palpatine's secret operatives, the Inquisitors he's undoubtedly been training, the dark side users who've hidden from the Jedi for centuries." "It includes everyone," Anakin confirmed. "Light and dark, Jedi and Sith. The Force doesn't care about our philosophies, it's all the same energy, and right now, we need all of it." Ahsoka's voice carried uncertainty. "How do we even contact them? The Sith have been hiding for 1,000 years. They're not going to reveal themselves just because we ask nicely. They will if the alternative is being eaten along with everyone else." Anakin opened a channel to Coruscant, to the Joint Command Center where Palpatine waited. "Chancellor, I need to speak with you, privately, about what you really are." A long pause. Then Palpatine's voice carefully modulated. "General Skywalker, I'm not certain what you mean." "I think you are." And I think you know that your secret means nothing if Galactus consumes Coruscant. So let's stop pretending and start cooperating, because right now, you're the only one who can contact the dark side users we need. Another pause. Longer this time. Anakin could almost feel Palpatine calculating. Decades of careful planning, centuries of Sith tradition. The rule of two and the grand design for galactic domination. All of it weighed against the simple fact that none of it mattered if everyone died. Very well, Palpatine said finally, his voice shifting, dropping its grandfatherly warmth for something colder, older, more honest. You're correct, of course. I am Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith, and I agree. Our conflict is meaningless in the face of extinction. I will contact my operatives and order their participation in the offering. On the bridge of the Resolute, Admiral Yularen stared at his comm system in shock. The Chancellor was a Sith Lord. The entire war had been orchestrated by... Admiral! Mace Windu's voice cut in, the Jedi Master having heard the same transmission. Our response to that revelation will wait until this crisis is resolved. Right now, focus on coordinating the offering. Yes, General. Across the galaxy, the call went out. Every Jedi temple, every hidden Sith enclave, every Night Sister coven, every independent Force tradition, all received the same message. Contribute to the offering or die with everyone else. The Force doesn't care about your allegiance. The Devourer doesn't care about your philosophy. Give everything you have or lose everything that exists. On Dathomir, the Night Sisters gathered in their ancient temples, channeling dark side magic into the growing beacon. On Korriban, Sith acolytes emerged from tombs and academies, adding their hatred and passion to the offering. On countless worlds, Force sensitives who'd hidden their abilities for fear of Jedi or Sith persecution revealed themselves and contributed what they could. And on Coruscant, in the Senate building, Darth Sidious shed his Palpatine disguise and walked openly to the Jedi Temple. Mace Windu met him at the entrance, purple lightsaber ignited, every instinct screaming to strike down the Sith Lord who'd manipulated the galaxy for decades. "This isn't over," Mace said, his voice hard as Durasteel. "When Galactus is dealt with, you and I will have a reckoning." "I look forward to it," Sidious replied, his yellow eyes gleaming. "But today we are allies. Today we both serve the same purpose, survival." The Sith Lord entered the meditation chamber and took his place in the circle. Light side and dark side, Jedi and Sith, all channeling together for the first time in 1,000 years. The offering exploded with power. Force energy poured into the beacon from across the galaxy, thousands of sources combining into millions, the light and dark merging into something that was neither and both. The pillar of energy above the Jedi Temple grew until it was visible from orbit, from other planets, a lighthouse of pure Force power burning in the cosmic darkness. Galactus felt it and was satisfied. "Adequate," he pronounced. "Your galaxy has demonstrated its commitment. I accept your bargain." Relief flooded through every being who heard those words. But Galactus wasn't finished. "Hear now the terms. I will spare your inhabited worlds, so long as you provide regular offerings of Force energy, not at this intensity, but substantial nonetheless. I will consume your uninhabited worlds as needed. And I will require a herald, a being from your galaxy imbued with my power cosmic, to scout suitable feeding grounds and maintain our bargain. A herald, someone transformed by Galactus's power, bound to serve him, to guide him to worlds he could safely consume. "I'll do it," Anakin said immediately. "I'll be your herald." "Anakin, no!" Obi-Wan's protest was instant and anguished. "You can't. Someone has to, and I'm the chosen one, right? Prophecy says I'll bring balance to the Force. Maybe this is what that means, being the bridge between the galaxy and the being who would consume it. The chosen one is my herald, fitting, but the transformation is permanent. The power cosmic will remake you. You will no longer be what you were." Anakin thought of Padme, of his unborn children, of the life he'd wanted, the future he'd dreamed of. All of it would be lost if he accepted this role, but 1,000,000,000 lives on Coruscant alone, countless more across the galaxy, all saved if he said yes. "I accept," Anakin Skywalker said, and sealed the fate of the galaxy. The power cosmic struck Anakin Skywalker like the birth of a star. One moment he was a Jedi Knight in a cramped interceptor cockpit, flesh and bone and midi-chlorians, a man who loved a woman and dreamed of a family and feared loss above all else. The next moment, Galactus's hand extended toward him, and cosmic energy older than the universe itself poured into his being. Anakin screamed, not in pain, though there was pain, but in transformation. His body dissolved and reformed simultaneously, matter becoming energy, becoming something else entirely. The force that had always flowed through him was joined by something greater, something that operated on scales the Jedi had never imagined. He felt galaxies spinning, universes being born and dying, the cosmic machinery of existence itself laid bare to his new senses, and he felt hunger. Galactus's eternal hunger, now shared with his herald, the gnawing need to consume, to feed, to take life energy and convert it to sustenance. It was overwhelming, all-encompassing, a void that could never truly be filled. This was what Galactus lived with every moment of his existence. This was the curse Anakin had accepted. When the transformation completed, Anakin Skywalker no longer existed. In his place floated a being of cosmic power, humanoid but radiant, wreathed in the silver-gold energy of the power cosmic, eyes blazing with perception that saw across dimensions. His body was still recognizably Anakin's form, but remade, perfected, elevated to something beyond human or Jedi. He was the Silver Seraph now, herald of Galactus, bridge between the Devourer and the galaxy he'd sworn to protect. "Anakin," Obi-Wan's voice came through the comm, cracked with grief and hope. Are you still in there?" The Silver Seraph turned toward his former master's interceptor. His cosmic senses perceived Obi-Wan completely. Every cell, every thought, every emotion, the force flowing through him like blood through veins. He saw his friend's fear, his love, his desperate hope that something of Anakin remained beneath the cosmic transformation. "I'm here, Obi-Wan." The voice was Anakin's, but resonant now, carrying harmonics that vibrated at frequencies beyond normal hearing. "I'm still me. I remember everything. I just see more now, understand more." "Master!" Ahsoka's interceptor swept closer, her presence in the Force. No, he could sense it directly now. Not through the Force, but through the power cosmic, blazing with concern. "What did he do to you?" "He made me what I needed to be to save everyone." The Silver Seraph looked toward Coruscant, toward the 1,000,000,000 lives he'd sacrificed himself to protect. "The bargain is sealed. Galactus will spare inhabited worlds as long as the offerings continue, and I guide him to suitable feeding grounds. I'll find uninhabited worlds, energy-rich systems without sentient life. He feeds, the galaxy survives. everyone wins. "My herald speaks truth," Galactus confirmed, his cosmic voice washing over the region. "The bargain is made. I will depart your populated systems and seek sustenance elsewhere. Your seraph will guide me. Your force wielders will provide regular offerings, and your galaxy will endure." On Coruscant, the response was immediate. In the Jedi Temple, 7,000 exhausted Force sensitives collapsed with relief as the ritual ended. Many would need days to recover. Some, the oldest, the weakest, those who'd given too much, would never recover fully, their connection to the Force permanently diminished. 17 had died during the offering, their life force consumed entirely by the effort, but they'd saved 1 trillion lives. More than 1 trillion, counting all the worlds Galactus would have consumed if the bargain had failed. Master Yoda lay on the meditation chamber floor, his ancient body utterly spent. Mace Windu knelt beside him, concern overriding the Jedi Master's usual stoic composure. "Master Yoda, can you hear me?" "Hear you I can," Yoda whispered, his voice barely audible. "Feel the Force, I still can, though distant it seems now. Given much, we have, but saved the galaxy, we did." Nearby, Darth Sidious, still in his Palpatine robes but no longer bothering with the disguise, observed the weakened Jedi with calculating eyes. The Sith Lord's own contribution to the offering had been substantial, draining even his considerable dark side reserves. He was vulnerable now, as were the Jedi, but so was everyone else, and Sidious was, above all else, a pragmatist. "It seems," he said dryly, "that galactic politics will be somewhat different going forward. The Sith are revealed, the Jedi are exhausted, and a cosmic entity has taken up residence in our galaxy, with one of your most powerful knights as his servant." "Herald," Mace corrected sharply, "not servant. Anakin chose this to save us all." "Semantics." Sidious's yellow eyes glittered. "The relevant point is that our conflict, the Clone Wars, Jedi versus Sith, Republic versus Separatist, it all seems rather provincial now, doesn't it? We've been fighting over governance of the galaxy while something that eats galaxies has moved in next door." He wasn't wrong, and everyone present knew it. The Clone Wars, the 1,000-year Sith revenge plan, the Jedi Order's guardianship of peace, all of it had been rendered insignificant by Galactus's arrival. Whatever happened next, the galaxy would never return to what it was before. "We'll deal with you eventually," Mace promised Sidious, "but not today. Today we have more pressing concerns." "Indeed we do." Sidious rose, his weakness evident but his mind clearly racing with new calculations. "I suggest a formal armistice between Republic and Confederacy. With Dooku dead and my involvement revealed, the Separatist leadership will fracture. Better to end the war now, negotiate a peace settlement, and focus our combined resources on maintaining the Galactus bargain." "You would abandon your plans for galactic domination?" Yoda asked weakly, skepticism evident despite his exhaustion. "I would adapt them." Sidious smiled coldly. "The galaxy still needs strong leadership, perhaps now more than ever, but the path to that leadership has changed. I'm flexible, Master Yoda. That's why the Sith survived for 1,000 years while the Jedi grew complacent." He left before anyone could respond, robes sweeping behind him, already planning how to turn even cosmic catastrophe to his advantage. In space, the Silver Seraph floated before Galactus, feeling the cosmic entity's satisfaction at the successful bargain. The hunger was still there, would always be there, but it was manageable now. knowing that sustenance was available without mass extinction. "You have done well, my herald," Galactus said. "Your first task awaits. Find me a world to consume. Energy-rich, lifeless, suitable for my needs. We begin immediately." "I understand." The Silver Seraph turned toward the unknown regions of the galaxy, his cosmic senses already scanning for appropriate targets. "But first, I need to say goodbye. Be swift, my hunger does not wait." The Silver Seraph descended toward Coruscant, his cosmic form burning through the atmosphere like a meteor. He landed on the Senate building's executive landing pad, where a crowd had already gathered. Jedi, politicians, military officers, all staring at the transformed being who'd been Anakin Skywalker. And there, pushing through the crowd, was Padme. She stopped 10 meters away, her eyes wide with shock and grief and desperate hope. She'd heard the transmissions, knew what had happened, but seeing her husband transformed into something cosmic and radiant and inhuman, was different from knowing. "Anakin," her voice trembled, "is it really you?" The Silver Seraph crossed the distance between them in a heartbeat, moving faster than human eyes could follow, but stopping just short of touching her. He wanted to hold her, but he didn't know if his cosmic form could safely touch a mortal being. "It's me, Padme. I'm still me inside." His voice cracked despite its cosmic harmonics. "I had to do this. It was the only way to save everyone, to save you and our baby." Padme's hand went to her stomach, to the pregnancy she'd been hiding from everyone except Anakin. "Babies," she corrected softly. "Twins. I found out yesterday. Twins. Children he would never hold, never raise, never watch grow up." The Silver Seraph felt grief threatening to overwhelm him, but he forced it down. He'd made this choice knowing what it would cost. He couldn't regret it now. "I'll protect them," he promised. "From wherever I am, whatever I become, I'll make sure the galaxy is safe for them. That's my purpose now. Keeping this bargain, keeping everyone alive, including our children." Padme reached out and touched his face. Her hand passed through a field of cosmic energy, tingling and warm. But beneath it, she felt something solid, something still human. "You're still in there," she whispered. I can feel you." "Always." The Silver Seraph leaned into her touch, savoring this final moment of human connection. "I have to go now. Galactus is waiting. But I'll come back when I can. I'll find ways to see you, to know our children. I'm his herald, not his slave. I have some freedom in how I fulfill my duties." "Then use that freedom." Padme's voice hardened with determination. "Come home whenever you can. Be part of our lives however you're able. And never forget who you are. Not the Silver Seraph, not Galactus's herald. Anakin Skywalker, my husband, their father." He kissed her forehead, a sensation of cosmic energy meeting mortal flesh, strange but not unpleasant, and then rose into the air. The crowd watched as the Silver Seraph ascended, a being of light and power who'd sacrificed his humanity to save theirs. Obi-Wan and Ahsoka met him in orbit, their interceptors flanking his cosmic form. "I'll maintain contact when I can," the Silver Seraph told them. "The bargain requires me to find feeding grounds and maintain communication with the Force sensitives providing offerings. I'll use those opportunities to stay connected to the Jedi, to you." "We'll miss you," Ahsoka said, her voice thick with emotion. "It won't be the same without you." "Nothing will be the same. That's the point. Everything changes now. The war ends, the Sith are exposed, and the galaxy learns to live alongside a cosmic entity. It's not the future any of us expected, but it's better than extinction. Is it really you, Anakin? Obi-Wan asked, the question he'd been holding back. Not just your memories in a cosmic shell, you, your soul, yourself? The Silver Seraph considered the question seriously. He could feel the power cosmic remaking him constantly, his perceptions and priorities shifting to accommodate cosmic scale awareness. He was becoming something new, something that might eventually have little connection to the Jedi Knight he'd been. But right now, in this moment, he was still Anakin Skywalker, still the boy from Tatooine who'd wanted to free slaves and protect people he loved. "Ask me again in 1,000 years, he said finally. Right now, I'm still me. I hope that doesn't change." He turned and accelerated into deep space, the power cosmic propelling him faster than any starship. Behind him, his friends, his wife, his entire former life receded. Ahead, Galactus waited, and beyond the Devourer, a galaxy full of uninhabited worlds that could sustain him without genocide. The Silver Seraph had work to do, and on Coruscant, in the aftermath of the impossible, the galaxy began to rebuild. The Clone Wars ended within the week. Without Dooku and with Palpatine's Sith identity exposed, neither side had the leadership or will to continue fighting. The Republic and Confederacy negotiated a peace settlement that addressed separatist grievances while maintaining democratic governance. Palpatine remained Chancellor, his political skills too valuable to discard even with his Sith nature revealed. But he operated under Jedi observation now, his every move watched, his powers checked by a council that finally understood the threat he represented. The Jedi Order itself transformed. The offering ritual became institutionalized. Regular contributions of Force energy channeled to Galactus through the Silver Seraph, preventing the Devourer from consuming inhabited worlds. Light side and dark side practitioners worked together in these rituals, their philosophies still opposed but their survival linked. And every few months, the Silver Seraph returned to Coruscant. He held his children, Luke and Leia, strong in the Force, unafraid of their father's cosmic nature. He spoke with Padme, maintaining the connection that kept him human. He trained with Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, reminding himself of the Jedi values that had defined him before transformation. He was changing, slowly, inevitably becoming more cosmic and less human. But he fought that change every day, clinging to love and friendship and duty. He was the galaxy's protector now, the bridge between mortal civilization and cosmic hunger. And if he had to sacrifice his humanity to keep that bridge standing, then that was the price he'd pay. The galaxy had survived Galactus. Whatever came next, it would face together. The arrival of Galactus reshaped the Star Wars galaxy in ways that would echo through millennia. The Clone Wars ended not with Sith victory or Republic triumph, but with mutual exhaustion in the face of cosmic threat. The Jedi Order evolved from warrior monks into cosmic mediators, their regular Force offerings maintaining the bargain that kept inhabited worlds safe. And the Silver Seraph, once Anakin Skywalker, once the Chosen One, became legend, the mortal who descended to cosmic power to save everyone he loved. But the story was far from over. Galactus's hunger would never truly be satisfied, requiring constant vigilance and sacrifice. Palpatine's Sith ambitions, though checked, were not abandoned. The Dark Lord waited for opportunities to seize power through new means, and the Silver Seraph himself walked an increasingly narrow line between human memory and cosmic nature, fighting to remain Anakin while serving as herald to a world devourer. Across the galaxy, Force sensitives looked to the stars and felt the presence of their protector and the hunger of the entity he served. The balance they'd achieved was fragile, dependent on continued cooperation between factions that had warred for generations. But for now, the balance held, the galaxy endured, and in the cosmic void guiding his master to lifeless worlds, the Silver Seraph remembered who he was and why he'd sacrificed everything. Some heroes saved the day, others saved the galaxy. Anakin Skywalker had done both.